Hey there, I'm Rob Hansen. I'm the creator of The Narrows, and I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about my process. So, one of the questions I get is, "Hey Rob, why does it take you so long to make a comic?" Eh? Why? And I'll tell you why. Because it's a shit ton of work. And that's because I'm a control freak and I do everything myself. So I write a script. The script looks very much uh, like a TV or movie script, except a little bit different in that it's a page, count at the top, and then you list panels, and there's no dialogue and there's direction. So it might say medium close on Simon looking at Hammer, that kind of stuff. And that's the direction I give to the illustrator, who's also me. And that person suffers incredibly because the writer doesn't consult the illustrator at all about anything. So it can be trying because I just write the story, right? Like the story is what it is. But then poor old illustrator Rob has to draw whatever the writer decides. And this one is set primarily in the past, around 1904. So that means a little bit of um, research into what people looked like, what they wore, what the buildings were like, that kind of thing. Um, and so, looking through my sketchbook here to show you some of these. So then I do thumbnails, right? For every single page, I read the script, do thumbnails. The panels are listed. So, panel one says this, panel two says that. And then I, pencil them in my sketchbook. And these are pretty tight if you look at them. They're pretty tight little drawings. But from my time as a graphic designer and a graphic design sculptor, I learned how to make thumbnails particularly tight because I was always kind of I shouldn't ask it. They always told me to draw bigger. I just never did that. All right. So from there, I move on to digital. Hold on. All right. So this is an inked page. I think it's page one actually. But in black and white, I would probably add a little gray at this stage too. Maybe a little. You notice there's a little bit of an effect here for the light. Um, you also notice that there is text on this one. So normally I ink the entire thing, like all 60 pages in this case. Then I put the speech balloons in. And then so I'll do all the inking first. Then I do all the speech balloons, and the reason why I do that is so that I can kinda check for flow in black and white, and it's I might make some small changes. After that, I, color, and that looks a lot like this. So I do the coloring. I use an app called Procreate on my iPad pretty much for all of that. I might do some small things with my Cintiq as well, but pretty much everything gets done on my iPad. And part of that, and the reason for that is because I like to do things um, in um, in coffee shops and bars just to get out of the little studio that I'm in, which I love. Um, so ink all of these. Like there's 60 pages in this comic. Back up. So it's a lot of little drawings. And then, you put the speech balloons in and then you colorize them. And coloring is my least favorite part because by then I'm a little tired of the process because it's been a long time. And then I also, by that time, always want to make a few little changes. So I end up changing stuff and it takes a little longer. And that's a drag. Hold on. So it's not an inconsiderable amount of work, because there's a lot of drawings in each page, right? Um, and again, I like to make sure they look somewhat accurate. So, I'm using reference a little bit. Like I have, uh, let's see what do we have over here. I have my trusty little car that I was using for some of this stuff, right? Set the car up, draw the car, right? I've got action figures that I use for some stuff. We've got X-Files dude because he wears a suit, and my main character Simon wears a suit. You know, important things to have reference for, right? Yeah. So after the coloring, then I lay it out, and I've been laying things out in the new Affinity publisher for this particular version, just to try something different. Um, and it turns into a comic book. I have a test print right here. And just to show you, if you decide to support the Kickstarter that I've got going right now, your name is going to go right there, right where right on the inside front cover, where Odin intended it to be. Um, and um, yeah, I think you should do that. I think you should support the Kickstarter. Yeah, I'm really close. I'm close. Um, and for those of you who have already, thank you so very, very, very much. I appreciate every single one of you. I couldn't do this without you, honestly. Thanks. All right. Good luck out there.